Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about the Screen Rant article that says Superman and Lois removed the need for Clark to be a Daily Planet reporter. So let's give this a read, shall we? Superman and Lois has shown that Clark Kent doesn't need to be tethered to his career at the Daily Planet. After appearing as a supporting character in the Arrowverse, Tyler Hoagland's Clark Kent would come to headline his own series with Superman and Lois. From the beginning, Superman and Lois gave a complete tonal makeover to Hoagland's Superman from his Arrowverse performances, with Superman and Lois Season 2 clarifying that it is set on a different Earth, and Hoagland is with with Superman Lois Season 2 clarifying that it's set on a different Earth, with Hoagland playing a different Man of Steel. Superman Lois breaking from the Arrowverse is not the only way the show has put its own stamp on the Superman mythos. Hoagland's Superman shown as a having protected Earth for 20 years. Clark Kent's time as the Daily Reporter is depicted in a very compartmentalized way. In lieu of his traditional journalism career, Superman and Lois has elected to both take Clark Kent back to his roots and establish a new focus for him. As for some reason that was hard for me to read. Anyways, Superman and Lois shifts to Clark as a family man. At the beginning of Superman and Lois Season 1, Clark is laid off from the Daily Planet after it was bought out by Market Edge, later revealed to be his half-Kryptonian half-brother Tal-Rho. Lois Lane subsequently resigns as she and Clark make the decision to raise their teenage sons, Jordan and Jonathan, in his hometown of Smallville. With Jordan's powers also developing, Superman and Lois changes to focus on Clark's non-heroic life from journalist to husband and father. When Clark not battling villains on Superman and Lois, he can often be found training Jordan in his powers or assistant coaching his and Jonathan's football team at Smallville High. Though Superman and Lois shifts the setting and career of Clark from his usual status quo, the show and Hoagland's Clark Kent do not feel any less tied to the essence of Superman for it. In fact, by doing so, Superman and Lois says a lot about a validity of some level of reinvention, even on the character as iconic as the Man of Steel. So it says that the Daily Planet is important, but not essential to Superman. Superman and Lois clearly recognizes Clark Kent's career at the Daily Planet as an important part of his history, but also sees his upbringing in Smallville as equally vital. The show also reworks Superman's villain like Ellie Aston, aka Parasite, and Bizarro as much as it reimagines Clark's personal and his professional life. The absence of the Daily Planet has, if anything, helped Superman and Lois by giving Clark a new road to travel that is full of surprises. And I have to say, even though I do have respect for the Daily Planet, and I won't have any arguments if the Daily Planet was shown in Superman and Lois, Superman or Clark Kent taking over the Daily Planet, or even Lois Lane. I am not exactly butthurt because they took it out per se, if that makes sense. So they, like they said, they have it in the little montage. They do acknowledge the importance of the Daily Planet, but it doesn't really hinder the story. If you guys have watched the show, you guys would know what I mean. Anyways, as soon as it began, Superman and Lois had a overriding theme of the importance of being ready for big life changes. That much is clearly seen in Kent's family's move back to Smallville. Jordan Kryptonian powers and new multiversal allies like John Henry Iron and his daughter. However, the removal of Clark Kent's journalism career on Superman and Lois shows better than anything that Tyler Hoechlin's veteran Superman is still the same Man of Steel that the world knows and loves, whether as football coach or a mid-manner reporter. And I enjoyed this, even if the Superman and Lois show likes to flirt with them being in the Arrowverse 1 second and then not being in the Arrowverse for another. It's a really good show. I'm really enjoying this Superman and Lois show, and I think it's the best DC show to have come out on the CW since Arrow. Because, even though I did enjoy, The Flash, the first couple of seasons, I always gravitated more towards Arrow. And not exactly knocking The Flash in this scenario down, just I was more interested in Arrow, so that's why I'm making that comparison to Arrow than The Flash. Anywho, I agree. I do like the whole thing that they are getting Superman to not be at his typical reporting job. And I do, for the most part, like their direction that they're going with. I think the only one that I am iffy on what their direction will be in, per se, is they claim to not be part of the Arrowverse, but they're on a different Earth. So, are they really outside of the Arrowverse? Are they technically in part of the Arrowverse, just on a different Earth? Because even what is considered the Arrowverse can even open up the multiverse, and even the 1966 Batman. I believe that was the 1966 Batman, the one with Adam West in it. Their part, Crisis on Infinite Earths, essentially made that show part of the Arrowverse. They even made Smallville part of the Arrowverse. So, even made the Brandon Routh Superman Returns movie part of the Arrowverse per se. So, my argument here is, if we get those part of the Arrowverse, then I don't see why we can't say that the Superman and Lois show is part of the Arrowverse. Even if they want to try to say, hey, yeah, we're not part of the Arrowverse, they do like to flirt with the whole idea. On 1 second we're part of the Arrowverse, the other we're not. That's my only criticism towards Superman and Lois, really. My major one, I should say. That's really only my major complaint of the show. Is that it is confusing whether they're not part of the Arrowverse or not. Anywho, outside of that one complaint, I really don't have any negative things to say about this show. Because this show, like I said, I think it subverts my expectations in a good way. It does focus on major changes, and family, which I enjoy, especially the family part, as a person who's a family man. I'm really enjoying this. I really am. But anywho, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And I'll talk to you fellow mutants later. Later, taters.